mate. Unfortunate.
Nightmare, dude. Get yourself some water, sit down, get like a blanket or something. I don't know. You know, chill out. It's fine. Some great games. We've got some great games. Don't even stress. We'll keep it calm. We'll do like one chill. We'll do one chill round, Mac. All right, let's wind it in for that guy. Yeah, obviously round 2 right now. You know, it's going to be a chill, nice, calm vibe to this. I'm imagining there probably will be some killing, some shooting, maybe some explosions, but you don't have to worry about that. You haven't got to.
We'll refer to them as eliminations as well, just so there's not actually any
soft.
death.
Yeah, let's keep it soft. Like, yeah, it's going to be nap time for a few of these players in a couple moments. You know, it's going to be off to
delay in the break that they've been on, and that's what you're going to have to open up again here. What are the changes for this team to continue to show their strengths on Nuke? I mean, there's so many unknowns here, so I guess for Gentlemates, the game plan is to play to their strengths, but playing right into the hands of Vitality.
I understand that for the Gentlemates, there are no good options, right? Even despite their fall off of that top spot in the VRS, here in the team seeding, Vitality were coming in as the number 1. They're being given the proper respect for what they accomplished last season in Counter-Strike. Teams are still definitely aware that this team is dangerous.
Always the title contender here, that's for sure. But not to continue with any utility. This is nothing but armor here on the CT side, and they're getting aggressive here in the face of Mappa's. Walks right into the duel here. Rop's able to connect, and Flames falls as well, so ramp side opened up, trying to hold it together towards that outer yard, and to no avail. Gonna be a 4v2 here with so many different opportunities for Gentlemates to strike throughout the map.
Gonna be ZywOo and Mezzi trying to put the pieces back together, and I mean, certainly a dangerous duo. ZywOo in particular creeping up here.
Oh boy.
Head spotted. He's got some information. He's tracking him. The question is, when does he pull the trigger? Execution from ZywOo. One more to find. A duel with Alex, but dancing among the bullets eventually. It's Alex who comes up on top. And so that leaves it to Mezzi. Though ZywOo has given him a distinct possibility. They know where this last man is. Could potentially get the vent drop off it, but Mezzi wants to make the move. They're kissing in the smoke. Oh boy, things get real weird here. Alex knows he was there. Alex, they know. This has actually worked terribly for Mezzi, and as he tries to slip back the other way, he does not quite realize how much has been bamboozled. Big pistol round win. Nice confidence booster early if you're the Gentlemates.
Felt like they were well prepared for that level of aggression there through the ramp side and commit with the trades for Saucel and Martinez. Well put together, also being able to work towards that out of yard. And the only big disruptor here is ZywOo, almost making that round a reality there.
He does tend to be a pretty big disruptor, though.
Yeah, that's his specialty right there. Not finding that third kill is honestly the surprise right there, but shaking that one off, they'll get a force spike going. They'll get a scout into the mix. And Apex getting up to his antics here. Outer yard pressure being applied, and well, that is one way to deal with it. Martinez instantly dismisses that push. They're down secret already. Mission accomplished in that sense here. They are going to send a couple of rotates down to try and meet him, though. Flames joining up with Rops as well, so nice unity.
It's a really important find early on, especially if you can keep Apex uncomfortable through the beginning. Maybe just send some of those tremors of frustration in early, especially on Nuke. He tends to be a player who could just be so disruptive outside. Nice find early. Mopaz had broken off from the majority of the pack, so there's no ability to trade. Now with a minute on the clock, having shown so much presence, they're going to start to move back up top. Saucel's been keeping it safe up here, making sure that no flank was on. But it's ZywOo's position back towards CT spawn that could really be a problem with that scout. They're going to have to leave themselves pretty exposed to him to get a cross off here.
Alex is in a prime position to catch him by surprise, but if they bypass him here, it's going to be a non-factor. They're going up the vents and ready to kind of meet them at the punch.
Is there any audio cue here?
Call.
Okay, they're committing. I was going to say they could bail back down, but they haven't seen anything to reveal it. Now the spot's on to try and fight back in from the squeaky door, but huge hold from Saucel. Mezzi is a surprise element, but he's just got the MP9. That's well handled by the Gentlemates. Vitality actually reading the positioning beautifully, but not able to actually win out the fights, not with the firepower to actually influence the round.
Yeah, I mean, all the details right there, I think, well put together by Gentlemates in terms of the positioning. They're able to hold off the aggression there in towards lobby as a reaction, and Vitality feel like they're fighting ghosts for a large bit of that round. They just avoid contact for so long, and finally Saucel able to strike as they do try and claim some of that lobby control late into the round. Well executed, dealing with the rotations here that Vitality bring into this map.
Okay. I found the details about Xtaz.
Okay.
Unable to be on stage with us due to a health matter until he gets back. Our assistant coach, Matt, will be acting as interim coach during our first EPL matches. We all wish Xtaz a fast and full recovery. Get well soon, coach. So hopefully, whatever it is, isn't too serious, and Xtaz is able to get back with the team when it is right, when the time's right, when he's healed up. So sending our thoughts out as well.
Absolutely.
Health always comes first. And I know for Vitality as well, as much as they do very much appreciate what Xtaz brings to the table, the steady voice that is Remy for them, a lot of respect shown for that. More pause. 2 quick kills. He's going to disrespect all of them here, but there is Zaiwu, and you do have to contend with that. Nade
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. You don't have to peek him if he's already dead.
Yep. Rob's able to find one with the deagle from the top ropes as well, but not too interested in sticking around here. Reposition. Oh my god, another shot under Martinez. Is that going to convince you? Just show a little bit of respect here. The hunting put to rest here. Anything extra that he can try and find. Going to be difficult to deal with this angle down low. Alex going to sit him an uppercut. The Gentlemates will hold it together, but some good damage done towards the tail end right there.
I like how Robs was playing it smooth with Donna, acting like his communication with Counter-Strike is challenging at times, as if he isn't Counter-Strike incarnate.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it right there, right? You have to keep people guessing, yeah. We all know who runs the account.
It's been a great start for the Gentlemates. Phenomenal start here. Alex 4-0, but the 3-0 on the board, the most important. Rifle's going to be out, so this could be a little bit of a tougher task, but for a team that's coming in as the last ranked seed by their peers, they are looking to change some opinions here to make some impressions, and Hotu's example has already lit a path. Look at this.
Oh my god.
Through. Davi G just walks his way in. We can see him tracking down Zaiwu. Oh my, that is a hell of a way to kick off your gun round. And Davi G, like an assassin in the night, he found his target and he slips back away. Mission accomplished. And you could see how much space this is opened up. Ramp is ripe for the taking, and the Gentlemates might just do so.
I mean, Rops is trying to throw in some aggression here, but constantly getting caught by flashes. Can't quite recover that lost ground. Forced back by the Molly, makes a sound cue. And they're going to be able to escalate this play down and towards the lower side, although this also gives them a fight towards Hell, so still holding it together. Issue is there is nobody on A. They're just manipulating these rotates so effectively. Open access, threading the needle here. Mezzi doesn't realize that they're already out towards this A site, so not a lot he can do to defend against this, especially Mollies are on at his feet.
This is a tough spot. The positioning, the complete lack of utility as well, and the fact that they finally got the guns out and enough to save. It's tough to get back through this. You don't even have a flashbang to get over Heaven.
They're giving it a go. They're moving forward here. Ops is the only player with the kit right now. 7 HP.
Tough ask. If he drops, you better make sure it falls into the site, or Mezzi can grab it, and 2 quick kills. That's going to answer it for us. Apex is kind of already committed, though. And so his life will be lost as well. You wonder whether that was an advisable retake. It's a 4-on-4, so it's tough to pass up, but it is just that we're in the wrong spots. We have no nades.
Yeah.
There is nothing to get us back through these choke points. There's nothing to break the post point from the Gentlemates. And Martinez already starting to chirping. Smiles on the faces.
This is exactly how you like to start off a game if you're Gentlemates. Being able to thread in these calls one after another. You can see the way that they're just constantly catching them by surprise. The outer yard play, the smoke wall push that they get away with. And walking away with a free opening pick onto none other than Zaiwu to take him down early. And limit his impact in the outer yard is such a statement start from Gentlemates. Kind of feels like at the moment here they're getting away with exactly what they want. Everyone holding up their end of the bargain here. The lobby lurk so far, and Mappas, and when Salsal's in that position there, has been super effective at containing lobby aggression, keeping that space. So not a lot of good options for Vitality to try and take ground and rotate. Again, this outer yard control has been all Gentlemates throughout this matchup. Still yet to see a Zaiwu to BP into the mix, but the rifle even. Able to do some good work.
One of the things we wanted to highlight is they've got all this positioning lower should they want it. They're not acting on it just yet, so that might give an opportunity for Vitality. One of the things we wanted to highlight with that calendar we were showing is they had such a nice long break here to sort of push the reset button. And in those first run of events, despite the fact that the results ultimately still pretty good, they're not championship. And you could see the frustrations creeping in for Vitality. We had listen-ins, we had segments where it really seemed like some of the mistakes were getting to them. The problem is if you come off of that break and you're immediately getting stymied in a round like this, in a map like this, maybe some of those frustrations start to rear their head again. Huge hold from Mezzi, dispelling any problems. Flamesy's found a flank as well. Now that's an extra gun that can be picked up, and the bomb is in doubt. Complete overwhelm. That's one way to change their fortunes. That's one way to get on the board. 5 alive, guns snatched away. Basically a full buy stolen back here for Vitality.
And it's an unbelievable bit of awareness for Mezzi, keeping his attention between Mini, trying to help out his teammates there in heaven. He's able to scale towards that out of yard, get those doubles, and stabilize the rest of the round for Vitality. Finally a little bit going their way in the opening phases. Immediate timeout for Gentlemates, knowing the window that they've just opened up for Vitality to get their heads back in the CT side. That's a huge stabilizer for the economy. A couple AKs picked up there that A1S still held on to by Mezzi as well. So you're going to start to build up that bank account.
Interesting to me that this is the instant timeout trigger from Gentlemates, right? I don't mind it, right? Because they know that their best chance here is to keep the momentum in their favor, to keep the pressure up on Vitality to their maximum degree. They've just given them a gift by giving over so many guns in that last round as well, where you can see that they've been able to reserve some bank despite it being their first round win. Now, if you can bring that pressure right back, you can keep any of those good feelings from starting to develop. You can keep any of that momentum from coming in. So this is maybe your best chance to keep that pressure on, to keep that pain up, is to find a round right here, right now. Chaos of smokes outside again. And this time, Davig's not going to be pressuring it. They're not going to be moving anyone in towards Garage either. It's going to be Apex coming up through Secret with responsibility for outside, and at least for the moment, it seems like he's going to be the only player in this entire vicinity.
This is a lot of information. Apex just goes and clears. They threw 4 smokes towards the outer yard from the start of the round.
Now you're thinking
very limited options, and at that point here, it does feel like they have to escalate this in towards the A side, and not really given that opportunity. Apex with the clear is going to stack the resources towards this A side, and it's going to leave them with a pretty deadly execute, but dealing with so much resistance.
Does Davig really only have a Glock?
Oh. Might have left a gun in spawn right there.
Certainly got the capital, so I guess we'll keep an eye on that if there's a gun he can retrieve out by the shutter. Mezzi finds first blood. And so far, the renewed utility here from Vitality's done a great job of plugging up these choke points on the initial phase. There's still a couple flashes and a molly to try and make this happen, but okay, Davig did have to go back for a gun. That has stalled them out a little bit. Now they link up. Flamezy gets a peek through the squeaky door. And this is going from bad to worse. That one Molotov, they need to have effect off of it. They do indeed. Apex up the vents. Can't land the bullet. Inaccuracy is a problem. And suddenly, the advantages for Vitality have just melted away. They know where Apex is. They've got him stuck. Rops needs to try and spring his leader up the vent, and that's a great way to do so. Headshot onto Davig. Apex now can creep forward. Start to get implicated into the action here. In this 2-on-2, there is no kit, but there might be one down on towards the site. There is indeed. I've just spotted it. Martinez needs to deal with the first. It falls to Ross, but he knows where the last is as well, and Martinez is already low, but he takes it off angle, and Martinez will overcome. It's just by a whisper, but a whisper is enough.
I mean, that's all they needed in that round right there. All things considered, from the start of it, using 4 smokes in the outer yard, leaving themselves with no utility, almost, you know, no util as they finally get an execution off towards this A side and decide they want to move out of Hut and Squeaky. They're able to threaten those kills. That's such a difficult position for Gentlemates to claw their way back from a trio on the site proper as well. Apex trying to get up the vents, but never allowed to. Gentlemates dice up those fights here, but they can't get past Iwuzop. This is going to be the difference maker in the second half if Vitality need it to come out there. Finally does, and get the opening duel. Flames finds the follow-up as well. Instant 3v5, even more challenging spot than the last. Salza looking for an opening, and Dancing around the bullets here is Robs.
Media response here important for Vitality. A window was being recreated there for the Gentlemates to really seize control here on Nuke. It's already a strong showing, to be clear, from the Gentlemates, but there's also this element of a team that's coming off of stage 1 that's had the opportunity to build, to have that momentum. The longer you leave Vitality to maybe shake off whatever amount of ring rust they might have coming from a period of no officials, the worse it's going to get. So you want to seize these moments. Wins in your sails. The bomb's gotten down vent. Saucel claimed, though. Should have a decent idea that this was a possibility. No one's reacting to it just yet, which should mean that Alex has a window to plant this bomb, as the ramp players do not adjust. And Martinez now punishes Flamesy, getting a little lackadaisical. Didn't realize the player could be stuck in towards midi, but that does mean that Alex is isolated for the moment, and they do not allow that moment to become a minute. It's all into Martinez now. And he's out of position. He can't deny this defuse. He knows he's stuck. Damage might matter, but Vitality will waste no time defusing that bomb.
Just get on top of it right there immediately. Not let any further damage take place there. Martinez trying to cut off those rotates through the vent side, but forced to fight through. So any hope of really winning this round is seeing if Alex can make something happen in the back of the silo. He just gets dealt with, though. A quick response there. ZywOo able to throw it in an opening duel with his AWP for the first time that he brings it out. And now again, taking his approach in towards the outer yard. Going the long way around here towards Secret. But just got to get there quickly. Just a decisive move.
TaviG gaining a lot of space in these smokes. He's been effective out here. Apex now dueling with the silo, trying to stay alive, but it's Saucel who overcomes. Not a bullet landed either for Apex. Elbow spotted, but ZywOo not able to land the shot. Jiggled out, has to back away. Now it's pressure on. Rops might have a little bit of an overlooked position here, but he's got a lot of responsibility in the meantime, and they're coming hunting. Alex wants to bring the pain. He's just been spotted up from heaven. So while he's distracted focusing on the Heaven player, well, Rops could answer for the one, but Saucel is quick on it. Now they've got Hell control. Now they can pressure A. They can bring the pain down towards B. ZywOo, though, going to take the initiative, not wait for the pressure to come towards that lower side bot. Try and make the move. Saucel again. A man who finds the response, and at this point, with teammates moving into lobby, Mopuz is spotting over and seeing that there's nobody actually out on A.
Could stick around in towards Heaven for this post plan as well. This is going to be a deadly positioning, but Mezzy in time gets in towards Squeaky. Only good for the one. Takes it all on the shoulders of Flames. Having to make it up the ladder here. Now it's only a Mac-10 at a bit of range here, so not the worst angle. And Flames gets up there quietly for wins the first duel, but needs to find Martinez in a quick headshot doled out towards the Heavens. Absolutely no question for Martinez.
There's a round of just great responses coming through from the Gentlemates, right? It felt like every moment where Vitality might have found an edge, might have found a kill, might have found a trade, it's Saucel to trade it back. Then it's Martinez in the final two as well, right? There's just always a response. So the Gentlemates keep things kicking their way. Playing as one unit.
They're making Apex's job really tricky towards this outer yard as well. I mean, you can see how he gets caught right there as the smokes are fading away even. So if it wasn't Saucel from Marsh, then it would have been someone else towards that outer yard that would have just been able to best him. And they're ultra careful. They're dealing with ZywOo.
And I mean, we see it on the player camps right now, right? Classic Apex, for sure. But maybe some of those concerns, some of those frustrations look to be directed toward Flamesy and Mezzy in this one. Not a captain who's shy about speaking to what he wants. What he might need here, a little bit of more control outside. Not going to be tested off the initial. And some spam damage is effective. They want to go fast. They want to go pacey. Off of the time here. Flamesy able to hold strong. Mezzy follows it up. But now Mezzy gone. And control starting to be taken. Rops wants to get over the lip, but Martinez will charge a heavy price of admission. The bomb's going down. Vitality on the wrong side of these smokes. Flamesy trying to get in towards heaven to give his team a little bit of a second element to this approach. It's again a good situation for the Gentlemates. A lot of utility this time, that's the difference. Nade to pop the smoke. Flamesy gets out, finds the first, but instantly traded. His teammates weren't ready for that maneuver. Apex now out and in. It's the French duo here. And as they stack up, Martinez sprays the first and a headshot for the second.
Oh my god, man. He can do no wrong. Dicing him up there. Finding those quick headshots. Another clutch here. Now back-to-back rounds that Martinez has to deliver. And he's able to bring it again. Taking that off angle, avoiding the AWP shot there, and ZywOo not able to deal the damage.
This has got to be feeling amazing. If you're the Gentlemates, I mean, they just continue to keep this pressure up. 7 rounds on, Vitality, even when it feels like they're making some good moves, just immediately get shut down. And when it comes down to those clutch situations, the backbone of the Spaniards is holding strong.
Just bringing that intensity right now. It's Martinez in this map. 15-3. It's Sawzell in some of these key rounds. Finding so much impact.
15-3 against Vitality?
Makes it look easy. He's giving them that shrug like it's effortless at the end of every round, knowing that he just ripped it away, but not so effortless for Alex. Gets chased down here. A little bit of activity necessary to breathe some life into the CT side. And there they have it. An opening duel, 1 out. A lot of damage done onto Sawzell. How do you get back into this round with no map control at all? 50 seconds left onto the clock. They're just starting their campaign towards the outer yard. Not an easy task here. Lobby control might be pressed on again as they hear these smokes towards the outer yard as well. This late into the round, you know you can take some ground back here. For Vitality, still got the cross in towards Secret as well, and Appa is looking to turn the corner. Does find one there, a nice shot from Martinez, continuing to show his firepower. And the chase down coming through out of Mezzi. It's going to leave it equals a 3v3, but they think it's down Secret. Instead, they're taking heaven control. They're once again bypassing Vitality here. ZywOo left overexposed, chased down, hunted, and traded by Martinez. Mezzi still on the scene where he needs to be. Able to find the first kill, but it's a Martinez clutch again. Another 1vx.
Hunting for his 19th kill here, and he'll be able to reposition Rops over the lip, but this time the spray goes wide. There are limits even to what Martinez can do on this map of Nuke, and finally for Vitality, it's not going to be confident, but it is a round win.
Yeah, big pickup. Rolling on out there, needed to shut him down, to just cool him off. You can't let Martinez constantly deliver these amazing late round situations, and finally able to hold it together. With 33 health, just not enough to deal with the chase down from Rops. As we said, this is a good half being built by Gentlemates with what they're able to do. 7 on the T side already, so valuable. Another timeout called out by Gentlemates here. I mean, again, round loss, not the biggest concern. Comes down to a clutch that's very workable. They know that they didn't leave themselves a lot of time to maneuver, but even in that last second decision, felt like they even still threaded the right bomb site. They got Vitality feeling a little bit jumpy here.
Massively so, right? How could you not? How could you not? You're coming back out. I'm sure a lot was made in the break of play that they had about maybe refreshing the map pool, maybe refreshing the strat books, maybe thinking about how they want to focus up, how they want to bring the pressure in, trying to reclaim that glory, that luster. Because this has been the year of Vitality, but since the break, we've been writing a different chapter in the storyline of Counter-Strike. They want to get themselves back to being the authors. And so far, hasn't exactly worked out.
I believe it's ZywOo just, or Apex rather, blocked a smoke towards the outer yard. So he's going to be able to claim vision, but they're gearing up for an A play here. Going to be decisive again, trying to turn up the heat. Gentlemates called a timeout to do this. But as they throw in the execute, The smoke wall allows him to work their way through here. Deals with the molly as well, and Alex just takes full advantage of that. ZywOo from the heavens still trying to fight forward and holds it together. Still a player on the top ropes here. Mezzi surprising Martinez with his utility out. And in time, Robson ZywOo holding it together. Able to stabilize the round. They had everyone involved in that.
They did. They did. And a couple players get low, but able to just defend, right? A straight up play. Able to make that happen. So well done for Vitality, and that's going to be a confidence builder as well, right? It didn't come down to the clutch. It didn't come down to a crazy play. You won that round as you should, mounting a strong defense. Now one final one. It's just pistols in hand for Vitality. Probably pretty important to win this one. You don't want to go back into that halftime break with some rougher feelings. For the Gentlemates, 7 on the board already. It's all gravy. They can stack on a little bit more. Apex under pressure. Bullets whizzing past his shoulders, but he's able to stay alive for the moment. And the Gentlemates are going to bring the pressure towards ramp instead. It's on to Robs.
Oh my god.
Brutal here, but he comes back to it. A little bit beleaguered on the spray. Eventually going to be able to get that one through.
Yeah, doesn't need to overcommit to this defense. Threads in his kill, gives up the space. That's sacrifices that you can certainly take, but not if you leave the vents vulnerable. Well handled by Mezzi just in time to make sure that his teammates don't get caught surprised.
Gaps plugged so far. They know there's the possibility of this lower play, but you can see Vitality, at least for the moment, are mostly hands-off on it. Just making sure that they're going to be able to keep the numbers up here. So it means that this is the pain point. This is the pressure point. It's all on to Mezzi. He has no support. Teammates are not close at hand, and Mezzi will go down.
4v2.
Elsewhere to keep the numbers very much in Vitality's favor. The bomb plant doesn't matter, just denying the round. And Rops does exactly that. 4 kills out from Robin Cool to send us through to the break.
When the world is cold, you hear people say, gotta chase the dream of yesterday. But the stories told, the golden memories, ain't a truth but just a fallacy. But there's hustlers, stealers, liars out on this road, and they'll feed the fire and watch it all explode. Gotta put those flames out before we burn it down. Gotta plant new seeds in this ground. Don't let yourself be troubled or think on yesterday. Keep on moving, come on, don't stand in my way. Some people wanna pull you under. Some people wanna make you cry. Some people rolling in like thunder. We gotta fight the feeling, we gotta do it right. If the hustle and grind breaks your stride, do your turn and blame the other side. If the hustle in your mind makes you decide, it will crack and strip you of your pride. Oh, but there's hustlers, stealers, liars out on this road.
We were questioning the map pick a little bit before this one kicked off, but seems the Gentle Mates had a good game plan for this one, knew a little bit more than we did. And they are bringing the pressure onto a struggling Vitality here on Nuke. Gonna need to get it off to a good start here on the T side because we're under serious pressure. Ooh. Fast play, that's a great way to do so. Rops has deleted the one man on A. Chance for a bomb plant now, but Mopaw's out the smoke. Gonna try and make some noise and stay alive at least for the moment. Still dinks on the Mopaw's and Martinez. Gonna make this a little bit of a trickier retake. Here they go. Here's the move. Trying to deny that bomb plant early on. Martinez gone. Alex and Saucel chiming in. Back and forth these kills go, but it's ZywOo to twist and turn on the site itself. And now Saucel dinked and dropped. Mezzy to claim it. And Vitality into the pistol.
Well handled there from Vitality. A little bit dicey when they all collapse in at once, and you don't really see Vitality ready to spring in and deal with that pressure. But the instant opener onto DaVG, being able to do the amount of damage there, allowing for ZywOo to spin quickly and get those kills. Scrappy as can be, they still get the job done. You got to go up against a force buy. That's a nice graffiti. I haven't seen that one.
That's a new one to me too.
Maybe that's one of the new updates. I don't know.
The face I make when the choo-choo trains come into the station with a spoonful of
really excited.
Just
oh, choo-choo.
Open up for the airplane. Ah.
Oh. It is spooky season.
It is.
We're getting there.
Spooky season. Get your candy corn. Get your Milky Ways. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I think it has to be Reese's. Little chocolate peanut butter.
Reese's are a classic. Hard to go wrong with Reese's. I've always been a Three Musketeers guy.
That's fair.
Love a Three Musketeers. Also, when I was a kid, I don't know if I can do them so much anymore, but the little boxes of Nerds.
Oh, those are good.
Those were gold on the Halloween run.
Now they got sour Nerds that in those little boxes as well that are, I think, even just slightly better. And those are very solid. Good times.
Good times.
Sure to get your costumes ready, go trick-or-treat, and get yourself some candy here. Mappa's looking for a sweet treat here inside the hut, and the MP9 does him justice. Trying to find even more, though. Traded out eventually. It's Alex flying up the vents and into the fight. But another player, DaVG, now springing into action. They just can't handle the constant reinforcements arriving onto the scene, and Vitality left without the bomb down. Still having to figure out a way to get those digits punched in the next 15 before they start to collapse here. The flank also arriving on the scene. Huge problems, but Mezzy offering protection. One more flank, but now Saucel coming through with the finishing blow. And they get it right on back here on the CT side.
Down to the wire. But the wire holds strong here for the Gentle Mates, just never giving Vitality that breath of air to plant the bomb. Somebody always swinging from the next angle. Just a 1, 2, 3 punch coming through. And that is elation for the Gentle Mates, because any good feelings you have off the pistol, they've been dashed for Vitality. The Mates now have a prime road to find the 5 remaining rounds they need to make this Nuke a W.
Been feeling like a Pro League just riddled with so many surprising upsets as well.
It does, I will say, before we rewrite the world order, here's where I try and be a Debbie Downer realist. Hold on, the hit's coming in. I'll save my realism for another time. DaVG, too, before he burns in the flames, commits in the Molotov to make sure this is going to be as easy as possible for his remaining teammates, and Mopaz can follow it up, can honor his sacrifice. Very nicely done. So, here's my Debbie Downer comment. I will say, in events of this nature, where you have some teams coming off of some breaks, where you have the Swiss, in the first round, sometimes we have these teams coming off of really hot runs in the previous stage, coming into what should be massively favored opponents who are coming in a little bit cold, however, having not played for a little bit, and we see upsets in this first round.
Absolutely.
That's not to devalue how crazy these upsets are. They're awesome for the team that gets them, for the Ho2s, for the Gentlemates of the world. Haven't gotten it yet, don't want to jinx that. But we don't need to be writing the eulogy for Vitality just yet, no matter which way this Nuke goes.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Chances to recover, that's for sure. Not done with this map just yet.
That being said, I think they're dead buried and it's all over.
Yeah, okay. You're making the call right now. You have full faith in the Gentlemates' recovery. shutting things down here, keeping the ball moving. They'll certainly do it in this one. It is cool to see. I mean, again, I think there's the build-up from stage 1. I think a lot of the teams that maybe should have made it out into stage 1 are present here. It was a little bit dicey for G2 and Furia, but they got it done. They made it happen, right? And it's important that we see those rosters into this next stage as well. That is kind of the luxury that this Swiss stage provides.
Technical pause. That's not what you wanted for the Gentlemates.
Oh.
Maybe a chance to catch your breath for Vitality. Of course, for any new viewers, you cannot speak to your team during the technical pause. So there's no ability to use those pauses to your advantage. It's just to sort whatever the issue is and hopefully get back in the server rapidly. Seems like it's something on Apex's end. So looking for a swift resolution here so that we can hop right back in. Maybe a swift revolution if Gentlemates pull off this victory against the one-time Kings of Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Seeming more and more possible as we build on here. And it is a quick tech pause. We'll get back into the server. No big break in the momentum here, but it will be a big bonus. Davi G rocking the ump. Famas in the hands of Mappas. No op in play for Martinez, who had an electric first half with the rifle. Not necessary. 20-8 for him so far. Continuing to build upon that success.
He's a rifler.
Seems like he's pretty good with whatever tool you give him right now, and that's a very good sign for Gentlemates at the moment.
Martinez built this clutch. Sticks and rocks in a cave.
Uh-oh.
Alex, the trick is not to swing with the utility out there. Didn't expect it to be that close, apparently. That's a huge punish. That's a lot of space built up, and that's a big opportunity given over to Vitality to have the early 5v4 in this.
Yeah, you gotta imagine that was some sort of communication oversight there. Maybe Alex expecting Martinez to be calling that cross was possible. No out-of-yard smoke, so you also don't really expect that dry walk around the corner in towards a secret fight. So Alex just turning the bend there and getting completely stunned. Big time 4v5 here. They're going to reroute this into another vulnerability here for the defense in towards ramp room, but the stack in towards lower is a different story.
Yeah, this is a crazy gamble here. They've left A totally vacant.
Oh, they made some noise.
They've got the right idea. I mean, if they hunt down Apex here, it's going to find the first. Can't transfer onto the second. Now they know there's two players here. Do Vitality pull the plug and go up top? No, they're still going to risk this. Sauce right on the shutter. Headshots, pirouette, and leaving it all to Zaiwu to try and get this bomb planted, and now just drops. C4 claim 20 seconds. Gonna try and reroute here. Get towards heaven. Time is gonna be precious. Can they beat him up the vent? They're not moving just yet. So right now, Rops has an advantage in this foot race, but he's got to run and plant and stick this bomb down to dirt before they get up the vents. He'll be able to do so. Nade to punish already. They don't want to give him a time to catch his breath, and Martinez does exactly that. The critical kill, the round win. 11 on the board. At least plant money here from Rops. But there's only 2 more chances. Vitality have to deny, have to get their own road started here on Nuke because the Gentlemates are looking like they're off to the races once more.
Now this move from Salsel does feel like it could be the nail in the coffin. Their quick spin on the dime. A complete 180 in the round right there. 4v5 up against a bonus. They didn't even have all the tools, and yet still putting it together there for Gentlemates in the man-down situation. With that gamble stack, that's when things start to feel a little bit suffocating for Vitality. When they just had to deal with 3 players in a 4v5 on the B bomb site, and it was all a gamble. It was all a risk take from M80. Or, sorry, Gentlemates.
Gentlemates.
I looked at
You saw the
logo.
M8.
Yeah.
You win M80. Understandable. There's some connective tissue in the logoing here.
Yeah. We had Bait,
Bait?
Gentlemates,
Bait, mate.
M80. The M and the 8. Just
We could
8s in
form a
general.
pirate crew if we get enough of them together.
Yeah.
Too many mates. Or maybe like an Australian crew.
Mac mate.
Nice find early on. We do have a Mac mate. We can get him involved. Ooh, what's this routing for Apex?
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, they are familiar with that maneuver. So Apex down. And the 4-on-4 now compromised. Need to find this. Rops taking a lot of damage in that engagement. Things are going for bad the worse here for Vitality. 45 seconds as well. There's not a lot of time to get this through. A lot on the line. Zaiwu's going back to check to see if they've been flanked up.
Whew, doing that at 35 seconds left. Not an easy call to have to make there, but at least does provide the security here. Now they're going to continue to get stuck in on this defense. An extra bit of help there in the heavens as well. He breaks through this setup. Oppa's not letting it slide. Rops on low HP, eventually gets finished off. Zaiwu next step back, trying to draw in the attention. Does win the duel eventually, but there's much, much more.
Daviji on the roof. He's been overlooked. He's the final element. That's all that they needed. One man unrevealed, and Vitality now facing 6 rounds required of them to get into overtime. The Gentle Mates, every opportunity to close here, every opportunity to put this one to bed, to put this one to rest, and a timeout taken by Vitality.
I feel like if you're...
Again, one of those situations where they have an extra timeout to spare, but for Matt, right, not their typical coach standing behind them, usually he's in the back lines. The timeouts, that's the one element that's different here when you're stepping behind them. He's certainly going to be no stranger to the preparation, to the protocols there, but he's not the guy with his finger on the trigger of when to call these.
That is a really good point. I think that is the extra value that you can have out of a IGL like Apex, who during those timeouts can still be very vocal, can still try and course correct. But I mean, even for Apex here, a guy that also, when the details aren't going perfectly, can find himself in frustration, trying to find those answers here. When you have to play flawless CS for the next 6 rounds, not going to be easy, and you have to do it with Tech 9's, Mac 10's less utility again, which has already presented a problem here for them.
All right, time for the mates to see if they can put this one to rest. Claim this nuke with confidence, with their chests puffed out as they have been all map long. Daviji up on top. Right above this door walls. No, he looks away and he manages to slip. That is such a perfect moment here for Rops and FlameZ. FlameZ can't stick around, but at least for the moment, Rops is continuing to find the kills that they need. As he follows it up, they see the utility come out of heaven. They know Saucel's here. But there's a second element. There's Mopause, and when he chooses to strike, now the move is made. Rops reading it perfectly, but Saucel in the clutch might just have a chance to put this one away, and Saucel is all they need. The critical man at so many junctures, impact round after impact round, and here he finds his flare in just the right moment. A quick 3K on the upper A, and Gentle Mates have pulled off the early up. You're in places that you might not otherwise go for work. Always say yes, always try it. Maybe you're not gonna like it, that's fine, but you'll never know until you try. Maybe Vitality need to try some stuff here. Need to say yes to some new ideas in the strats, because the Gentle Mates have been telling them a whole lot of no, 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 no.
We'll see what they can bring here. Need to offer up a plethora of ideas. Apex looking to say yes to some T-side rounds here on train, which can be tricky. Pistol would be nice as well for them. Converting on those pistols is also important, but we're going to get a head-on collision with the dual Berettas and a flashbang held out by Alex to spring them in to this duel. Waiting for that contact. There's the flashbang. There's the attack coming through and immediately punished. Flames and Mezzi able to find the opener. Saucel kind of stuck in position. Gets out on 1 HP. Not going to be able to mount much of a defense, but they hear that smoke also lining up. So this is the A side called fully clear now.
Not an issue. Hey, Alex has been able to reposition, but I mean, they just don't have anything. Alex doesn't even have armor, right? He was the player who's dropping things over to support his teammates, and his teammates, they went forth, and they did not exactly find a whole lot of success. So, well handled from Vitality. A lot of responsibility on Mezzi just to make sure that that Ivy push didn't come through, but he stands up beautifully to it. And now, they're taking their time with it, but it's really a pick your poison. You can do anything. Apex sees no one on B, no one on B, no one on B. Oh, Saucel checks. Apex is tucked. Nobody here. Now we start to gain a little bit of ground. Apex is making noise. That's going to draw Saucel in. That's actually going to pull Alex off. But because Apex hasn't seen him yet, but this could get weird, except that Saucel has 1 HP. So it's fine. It's fine. There was like a moment. There was a tiny moment there, Cole, where I'm thinking maybe they're saying yes to this getting real strange indeed.
Yeah, I think if you're Apex and the rest of Vitality, you're going to be super careful to avoid gamble stacks in these sort of rounds, because that's what they were doing quite a bit when they were down on Nuke, right? Calling in stacks, staying unified in their fronts, and Even in the 5v2s, it's always good to show that caution. Make sure that they don't make any fatal errors.
No. Minor technical difficulties. Say yes to the admin team. Saucel getting something sorted out.
I do like the new jerseys for Vitality. Those are
I do
sweet.
like them.
They're so cool.
As the last ones were a little bright, a little aggressive. They did occasionally look like you were working on the side of the highway.
I mean, if you're into biking or anything like that, you could probably just throw on your jersey and
Good high vis, that's true. Pimp did have a partnership with them for like 2 seconds. He missed it for the wrong window.
I'm sure he got a jersey.
But not that jersey.
Oh. Just have to go and ask.
But I do like these. Classic colors. Going heavy in the French side of things.
Yeah.
They're trying to convert Messi. Get him across the channel.
See how successful that is. I mean, if they keep winning. Just rock the start speaking French in the game. See if they hit the Duolingo.
Yeah, they've learned a lot from their teammates. It's mostly Apex swearing in French. Things aren't going their way.
Well, that's a good way to do it. Apex could just be yelling very nice things about the round.
Could be.
You never know. A pretty deadly force buy, though, coming through here. Martinez does get a scope. Not quite the AWP, but scout in the mix. Control being prioritized. On these sort of rounds, again, I think it's so nice to have a smoke down for as long as possible to hold off these choke points. Mappas has put himself in an interesting spot here. Kind of a 50-50 angle.
It is, but the question is if you start to get late without a ton of information,
Goes unchecked.
stepping on the mousetrap becomes more likely. 45 seconds, they really haven't seen much about this, and now here's that late smoke you're talking about. Coming on in, 40 seconds, going to limit what Vitality want to do, but having gotten some presence here in the brown halls, they're going to back away. And because Mopaz is so tucked, he doesn't really know that they could disassemble these numbers here. Oh boy, this timing for Saucel, he's been checked. Okay, now the alarm bells are ringing, but can they get the troops over in time? Smoke to block off Martinez. This is looking good for Vitality. Pop Dog's going to be the real problem. Martinez unable to land that headshot, and as he goes back to dip into the well, he finds it's been poisoned. Now the smoke is up, now the bomb will go down, and there should be just about nothing the Gentlemates can do.
I think it flashes right there. I mean, Martinez with a deep scope like that, being able to try and pluck in a little bit of damage, maybe lands a scout headshot, that's going to create a lot of discomfort with the little time that Vitality had left, but those flashes just throw his aim off enough to make it easy on Rops. To line up those kills, knock it down. I think a good decision for Gentlemates to ease up here. Hold on to what they can instead of trying to explode through that smoke. And Vitality, despite a little bit of time pressure, could have survived the scare of this force buy and recover nicely. That last second check onto Saucel as well as everything, man. It looked like he was hitting that perfect window. And you see Rops still aware of every detail, knowing what he has to do here. Turning that corner and bam, right in the danger zone.
Always ready. Gotta get up pretty early in the morning to catch Robin Cool off guard. You gotta be standing outside of his bed, yelling at him.
And even still, he sleeps with one eye open.
You think you're surprising him, then you wake up, he's incepted you. Top is spinning, he's above your bed. Boom.
Maybe that map of Nuke was all just a dream.
Vitality would love that world. Fortunately, I think the top has fallen on that one. And here we go. Players flying on out. Trying to assemble a bit of a stack. Not a lot of firepower on it, though, so Flamesy is able to overcome the first couple. And bit by bit, these players are dropping. Numbers in place or no. You can't really get the shots that are required. Mezzy to find the last. And it is clean as you like. for Vitality.
This flawless round, a bit of a statement start for them to kick off their campaign. Well, it would have to be a reverse sweep. And again, the utility, the execution out of TCOM looking flawless. I think it's always tricky to make that work when you're going up against utility and AWP into the mix. Now that is what Martinez brings out. He's rocking glass cannon, so you can see how much of a priority that is now on this map of train for the Gentlemates. And we'll see how solid the execution is up against the purchase here from Gentlemates. Can Vitality continue to threaten the execution power that they've been bringing to the table? Early poking and prodding. Right now towards Ivy for Flames and Apex.
Men.
The op's over there towards B, so you don't have to worry about an op right now. Just a lurk smoke is going to create a lot of confusion and worry here into the camp of Gentlemates as to how they threaten their rotations. You can see that's the job of Daviji to hold it together, but at some point you're going to be feeling like there could be some gaps created.
You see nothing, though. Now the utility gets set up.
That is an interesting angle.
What game is this? I feel like we're in Arma now. Tussle. Gotta be able to hold for the first, despite being totally blind there. Just sprays it on down. Gets something here. Flamesy, that's a massive find on the edge of the smoke. Now they start to get these inroads, but Daviji still here to be a problem, to buy time as well for his teammates to get activated here. They're creeping ever closer from Pop, but Daviji now lost. When does their focus turn? Not just yet. Now's the moment to strike for Mopaz. Zyru goes back looking for it. They don't know Mopaz is close. They think the player's far. Oh boy, Mopaz! All of them lined up, knocked down!
What a bait and switch right there. Martinez giving him that false sense of security there. Mop was able to strike from the back lines. What a beautiful sequence. Timing that one up to perfection. And lining themselves up a beautiful 3K. And now even more here on the Gentlemates. They're able to bring even more X Factor. This time Mop was able to bring it on home.
That's Mopaz magic, right? He just, it's the classic move. Just find yourself a little corner, a little cubby. Yeah, it's going to be a risk. There's always a little element of risk, but he's a gambler. And man, when it pulls off, it looks so good, dude.
Beautiful execution right there. The unity in between Martinez and Malpos was perfect, but he's going to get caught potentially here. Very loud about his repositioning. They have no idea that Rops is already in this position. So sneaky. And he could be the win condition already. I mean, it's looking more so like a retake-centric setup here on the B side anyways. Maybe for the best.
Slips in among the oil train. They've already gained a lot of space here. He hasn't been revealed just yet. Now teammates are coming back over, and Puz might, again, just be a little overlooked. Knows that these players are close up, but Apex good on the spray. Yeah, you get the punish, but this one's too little too late. This time the tucked-in angle just puts your teammates in a rough spot. This is the 50-50 effect sometimes of some of those riskier gamble plays. They giveth, and sometimes they taketh away.
Yeah, Vitality have been very detail-orientated on the flashes that they're throwing right now. It feels like every bit of utility that they're using is perfectly scaled for what could be potential vulnerabilities, and they ignore the Mopa's problem, just cut off all of his support before they can even get into position. So this time his sneaky antics not going to be able to get up too much here. Martinez's op is certainly in a scary position. Missed no scope. That means the op hits the floor. And the energy being built on this T side.
I know we're hearing the noise come out from Vitality. They're getting a little loud. It was all Gentlemates having fun in the last map. Now it's Apex's turn. That's in Spanish.
Making sure to give Gentlemates some lessons.
Interesting that he's saying there's 0B, but since we didn't know Mopaz was there. But maybe that backwards positioning, not thinking about an anchor player back in. Still finding a little bit of read, finding that space. The mate's under pressure.
I mean, Vitality would love if that's how Gentlemates were playing that B side pretty consistently. If you let them get their executes off, if you let them get their dry runs in, that is where we're going to see them have a field day. And you kind of compare the CT side that they brought into the mix. It was a lot of disruption early in these rounds, making sure that Vitality couldn't work the outer yard on Nuke. That's how they got some of that defensive success. So they're going to want to fight for some space and make sure that doesn't happen again. They're going to do so towards Ivy.
Really does make it a lot easier when Martinez isn't just shooting everybody as well. He's had a slower start to this one. Long-range shooting gallery, nothing going to be doing for the Gentlemates. They took a risk. They're liking the Ivy, I'm noticing. How do you feel about Ivy here on Train?
I still feel like there's a lot of potential, but a lot of the potential of Ivy has to come down to walking through smokes, I think. And
Yeah.
I don't think any player loves to do that.
I think you really need the other team to not look that way.
Yeah, it's hard. There's so many good angles to deal with Ivy, even without an op, like riflers and passive angles can really succeed. And there's so much clear still for T-side, so you're always turning a corner. I feel like you're giving yourself like 3 different 50-50 duels. You got to coin flip like 3 different times if you want to win your fights. And if you want to take Ivy, it's either you walk through a smoke and take that risk, or you have a lot of resistance. You have a lot of fight in that position, so you're going to have to like sacrifice 3 players on the T side.
Do you respect the pigeons?
We did see someone in Philly juggling pigeons.
That was crazy.
Was it yesterday?
That was yesterday, yes. Walked past a guy. He was hanging out, had a ton of feed. The pigeons loved him. I think Lord of the Pigeon.
Over 100 pigeons.
Was actively throwing pigeons into the air. They would land back in his hands. And he was juggling pigeons.
Yeah, I mean, they would like land on his hands, and he would just keep on throwing it up in the air, and they'd just land back.
Never seen that tech before.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
I think he respected the pigeons.
He respected the pigeons.
They respected him and his food.
Yeah. He was the pigeon carrier.
I think that's usually supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah.
Carrying a message into this one.
Well, it's kind of like how, these modern day pigeons no longer really working for us. I guess more as a fun little pet for this guy. And it's like how dogs no longer really go. Well, I guess some dogs do, but my dog sleeps in the bed with me and
not
likes
quite
to
a
get
labor life
covered up.
anymore.
Yeah, he's living his best life.
It's gone soft.
No longer have to hunt for his food.
Gotta send that dog to the tundra. Duffing him up. It is funny that there's some dog breeds that people get expecting like a lap dog. This dog was bred to pull heavy loads, hundreds of miles across
Sleds through the snow.
Tundra. Like you're gonna need to give that dog something to do.
Some exercise.
Woo! Martinez finds Apex, nade in hand. Takes the initiative there, and Martinez finally cracking onto the board, finding a little bit of space. That's a tag as well. Starting to make some noise, but that lets Zaiwu onto the angle. Still, Mezzi lost. Zaiwu uncomfortable getting out of this choke point. The bomb's dropped in front of him. He knows he needs to make that move, but now he's alone. Secret Agent Wu, blindsided by Alex, is this one's a non-starter for Vitality. The mates hold strong, and it starts with a Martinez pick.
Yeah, and you can see right there some of the challenges that can present when you try and fight up Ivy. Even though they have so many resources here, you're going through a pretty clear choke point to try and collapse. And Gentlemates don't really have to expend a lot of resources in covering that position. They do have a nice couple of defenders ready to go, but tough to catch them off guard there, especially with that Martinez up as the focal point. They're going back at that again, and we'll meet head on here with these 2 offers. Zaiwu this time sideline. The rifler can't hold it up, but Martinez so quick on the draw. Offers up the multi. This round shatters quickly for Vitality. They need a reaction to smoke and invite Rops into the duel. A little underhand flashbang, a little trickery here, but avoided perfectly by Mappas. Rops going to take that space. Needs to win this fight to give them a new opportunity, and Apex walks out with a bomb. So not much chances here for Rops unless he can deal all the damage, and Martinez somehow coming through with the finishing kill.
I don't mind the risk there for Apex, right? He knows that it's a 4-on-2, and they're seeing Rops with presence on B. He's expecting that they're going to be rotating, they're going to be eyes off, but maintain focus here for the Gentle Mates. And again, it is Martinez who provides that spark. This is what they were missing in some of these early rounds. He is the difference maker for this team. He certainly was on Nuke in so many ways, and now you give him the scope, you let him pick his fights out towards Ivy. Back-to-back rounds with some success on that.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of the disappointment there on Zywoo's face, right? When you're an Opper on the T side and you walk head on into that 1v1 duel, you kind of feel like you had the right read. You know you had the right idea in dealing with the Opper and providing a chance to get an opening duel, and instead, Martinez just too sharp and puts that to rest. So for a guy on the other end of the server that knows he can find those openers, getting shut out. Bit of a frustrating factor here. They're going to go for the gun round with the Apex Tech 9. Everyone else on plenty of utility and firepower to back this one up. And they're running right back. Again, a lot of emphasis put on Ivy. And guess who's here once again? It's an easy pickoff on the Mezzi. 3 times in a row that Ivy side has not presented them many opportunities here.
They're really convinced that they can find the solution. Surely Martinez can't be holding this again.
Yeah, that's the mindset.
3 times in a row? I don't think so. Saucel doing what he was known for on Nuke, holding strong. And this is again another round where things are looking great for the mates. Upgrade available as well. Alex, nice angle here from Hell. Spots, collects. Early warning system that they might be a T-Con as well. They're gonna have Flames to try and contend with him. So he commits and actually finds a second kill. Well committed from Alex. And the final one falls beautifully into the lap of the Gentle Mates. Now there's a little noise coming back out, a little bit of life here. Few rounds in a row, the distress is gone, and maybe that pressure starting to ratchet back up for Vitality.
Absolutely. Spot out that double op there towards the tail, and they're probably realizing why Martinez has been committed towards this Ivy position for 3 rounds in a row. Double ops can tend to help in that sense. DaVG on the secondary is going to push his way in with some fancy footwork. Go for a fight, and a lot of damage taken. This time, finally, Martinez doesn't find the opening duel. Instead, a headshot sent his way.
Was that the scout through the corner?
I think it was the Deagle through the corner.
Makes a little bit more sense. Double up as well, DaVG. Don't feel like we see him rocket that often.
Could be interesting.
See how he does with it.
Definitely one of those maps where
You like more
it's
ops?
good for. Little telescopes at range can certainly help out.
Vitality may be getting confused at some point seeing the name Alex in the server against them. Way back when, they had a different Alex. Remember that guy?
Yeah. Wonder what he's been up to.
Farming.
Having a good old time. As is Alex on this one, starting to recover, getting chirpy. Back at the Vitality camp, and this Martinez up continuing to thrive in this environment. At risk of a peek from Mezzi in the scout, but everyone else getting involved now should allow for things to be closed out without too many concerns. The Deagle being brought out to try and find some damage here. Flawless rounds can really hurt the T side here. The economy built up for the remainder of this half, even with the risk of these double ops.
Gonna try and track down that Alex.
Honestly, Alex got picked up for the NIP squad. I think some people were like, was that the right Alex initially? Because it was kind of a shocking move.
Yeah? Gotta keep your Alexes on deck.
Yeah.
He's actually working as a professional baker.
Great British bake-off.
Perhaps. Had to find a new way to make dough. Give me nothing on that. Nothing on that. Sasso will give them nothing in terms of space. As that smoke fades, now pressure on. ZywOo lost. Martinez on top of that duel once again, as it started to become a bit of a trend. Apex trying to creep, find a little bit of a gap. Mezzi's found that space, but he's losing teammates. Nobody can link up with him, so what can Mezzi do? One man, who's definitely behind enemy lines, will punish Mopaz, but now position revealed. Can the bomb link up? Needs to cross DaVG here. On that second op, knowing that the numbers are in their favor, there's no reason to give the advantage back away, and Gentle Mates have encircled this site.
Actually going to plant on the A side. I was wondering if they were going to try and create a new path towards B, but DaVG's the point of cutoff here. Mezzi, a tough fight ahead of him, gives him a huge swing. And that's when you fight for that space. You can make these 2v4s possible. Mezzi's just done that here. Rob's still in an awkward position, gets caught trying to stare between two different angles. Mezzi left last man standing, looking to bring home the clutch, but elevated angle from Sazel continues to rack those round counts up.
It's all Sazel. Sazel season. Lead now established. Considering how this one started out, things were looking a little dire for the mates, but once the economy is stabilized, they have just been stacking these defensive rounds one after another. One more try to crack this defense for Vitality. But some frustration there for the leader. And a little smirk out for the mates. Yeah. Can you make your eyes do that?
I don't know. Yeah, I would say so.
I don't think that's a face anyone actually makes.
I can't actually see when I make that face, but I can do it. But I guess we'll never know.
I feel like that sticker's supposed to be smug, but if I do that with my eyes, I think someone's just going to get me medical attention.
You're having a stroke. Talked about Vitality. How to do some soul searching in the mix here.
Sauce soul searching?
I think they would like to manufacture some of what Saucel's bringing.
At least search for him.
They're doing in this round. Walk through the smoke again. A little bit of risk taking from Flames, but he's been deadly at getting out of T-Con. DaVG, deadly and pop. He's been able to get out of T-Con in surprise. Now been spotted though. DaVG caught a visual, calls it over to Martinez. Not in time though, as Flames still breaks through, provides the 4v4, takes care of one of those ops.
Critical space creation as well, because now his teammates can start to link up with him. But finding that kill, he's opened an avenue of approach. That gets Mezzi out from Ivy. Now they can start to wrap on towards the A site. You can see the response. Mopaz is trying to go back in. See if he can close that back door, but it's DaVG to create the opportunities instead. He can't slip away, but he's done the damage. And his final round, all to play for. It's also when the smoke fades. Vitality slipping towards T-Con. Now they've got space to defend from. Bomb planted decently for them. Mezzi needs to hold up. He's looking the wrong way. Apex finds a kill elsewhere out in the open. Down goes Apex all onto ZywOo. A clutch now required. Captain of the squad on the other side, Alex, just trying to stick it. But the lineup with the HE, no, doesn't find the kill. And the defuse will be on. No need to face when you can snatch a round like that.
which makes my moonshine. I never knew love like that. You're always gonna make me feel right. Never met a boy like that. It was always meant to happen in time.
She could take my sip. Baseline hit, some more 8-line this. Buy me a whip, then I take my pick, then I find me a chick, I can make my darkness in motion. It's a 16 bar from the dark of the ocean. Flow penetrates egos with the dark of the broken. Meanwhile, the hell smoking won't let me get my roaching. Been promoting the green and the purest herb. MPs get vexed and they swear they words. On daytime telly, but they blur with her like word. I rep mine, got a sword for the dagger in the best way.
Baby, if you want me, I will be right by your side. Baby, you can call me. You're the sun which makes my moonshine. Never knew love like that. You're always gonna make me feel right. I never met a boy like that. It was always meant to happen in time.
Window no scope from center. No way! It's a perfect end. What is this come from? This is madness.
Nice vocabulary lesson coming through from Apex. It's important to have cross-cultural communication, especially when you're neighbors. France, Spain, pretty close together. Maybe some historical beef at times. But important to share the language, you know?
Yeah. Keep the communication clear.
Say nice things about each other's mothers.
Not a lot nice to say here.
She's a nice lady!
That's what it means.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Flamesy in the corner, not for long. Mezzy in a different corner, slightly longer. Find a bit of a response here, but he has been dug out, so advantage for the moment to the mates. And there is no one left on A, on the 8s. Bomb is plated,
Yeah, there you go.
like a little braid.
All served up. And just Apex. Not lasting too much longer there. Martinez bringing it the closer. And that was great from Gentle Mates.
Strong bait.
Was the one that got baited there in Ivy. Sawzel had to sacrifice him, but it's a worthy sacrifice.
A little bit of a sinking perhaps in the stomach here for Vitality, right? Because this is now a little bit concerning. It's always nicer to start your CT side out with some money, not have to think about building up the guns. You don't have a huge cushion to play with, and it is, of course, them a map down after the very strong showing we saw from the mates on Nuke. So a chance, an ideal chance perhaps for the mates to really stack up some rounds, give themselves some cushion to play from, make things interesting here.
I could get double digits, making their lives a lot easier if they're able to get past these sort of force buys. By no means easy, but if they can survive it here, get closer and closer to sweeping up this series versus the Vitality squad. Here's the execute lining up here, close range. Bates drops into a peak, and Saucel just holds the line. They're going to take full claim of this site, get themselves entrenched.
Oh, Davi G.
Davi G looking for the all-in
Boy.
play.
He knows there's a scat there. He's hungry. Nice nade pop, though. That would have punished. So Davi G widely withdraws. So he's been able to make some noise off the Teagle, but this bomb ticking away makes whatever slim chance they had a near impossibility. This one looking like a non-starter, and it might be worth just keeping this little bit of weaponry up to have impact into the next, and so that's exactly what they're going to do. Though, Mopaz not interested in allowing it. Oh, well, okay, might be more interested now. Took a deep shot through the wall. Actually, you know what? You can't slip out towards Ivy. That's chill, actually. That's fine.
We'll let that slide. Oh my god, no, never mind. Zywoo.
Full stinger.
It's hunted right there. Lulled him to sleep before he went for the huge swing, and now Mezzi with the scout doesn't survive either. Mappas takes them both down. Just a little bit of patience paying off there.
A little bit of a payday, too, off those MAC 10 kills. Money, money, money. And no kill bonus for the CTs. They got one. That's $50. What can you do with $50 in the world of Counter-Strike?
Decoy?
Buy you a gumball. Is the decoy the equivalent of a gumball?
I think so. The only thing you can really pay for with a little bit of change.
Did you ever get anything as a kid, you know, out of those turn machines?
Oh, yeah.
A quarter in?
I mean, nothing really, like, valuable, but, you know, if you ever got the, like...
And those gummy hands.
Little sticky hands.
Yeah.
That's both where you went to, yeah.
Don't tell me those weren't valuable. Endless enjoyment out of those.
Those sticky hands are awesome.
Getting his sticky hands all over Flamesy's face. Whack. The best was, like, after they'd been out of the bag for a couple days, they just had felt so weird.
Yeah.
Little, like,
it was more of the... Yeah, it starts to get a little grimy. Collect some dust.
Oh, so like the little army men with the parachute?
Yeah. Those are
Throw
fun.
that off of like a staircase? Run down to catch them?
That was more of an arcade reward for me. You get the little thing that you could shoot them out of as well.
Did you ever get anything from the top shelf in the arcade? You ever
No.
save your tickets?
No, never was a big ticket saver.
Yeah, I didn't have...
Arcade was more of a, like, a special treat, so it wasn't, like, frequently going to those. Nor was I someone who, like, planned well for what games I was playing.
You were losing the marshmallow test?
Yeah. I was a big fan of the games I enjoyed, not so much the ticket grinding.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Davi G is enjoying this one. Trying to win a prize for his team. Doing a good job in that. Earning a lot of tickets here at Mezzi. Last prize. Can't at least get an answer. Raise his cost, but not substantially so. I'm with you. The arcade was A, an infrequent occurrence enough that I never thought about planning between rounds, and B, I just wanted the candy and or gummy hand and or army man parachute.
Yeah.
I'm not saving up for the PlayStation that no one ever gets.
Yeah. I think for the amount of arcade games you'd have to spend, you're like quadrupling the cost of the PlayStation unless you hit the jackpot a couple of times.
Yeah. Also, the quarter suck machines. I loved House of the Dead. Never been good at it. And holy cow, does that eat it's very quickly.
Uh-oh.
Zywoo, finding that I might need an extra quarter for this one. Hit the restart.
Fortunately, there's not a lot of room for those sort of opportunities. You got to capitalize here and now, and Flames feeling so claustrophobic inside the smoke, so doing damage, not yet finding those kills finally. Flames able to emerge from the smoke, find himself a couple of kills. Leaves this site still in good hands here as well. The rotation's on the scene, keeping things stabilized, and it is going to be Martinez and Davi G that have to rethink their approach on this play. Gonna take it a long way around.
I mean, buying some time off this with the lack of remaining choke point utility from Vitality is not a terrible idea.
The internal clock has to tick for Mezzi, otherwise he's toast. There it is. Starts to realize and does collect. Davi G going to be sidelined here. Martinez not necessarily spotted. Not a lot of time to wait things out, trying to lull Mezzi to sleep.
Definite awareness. This is where a player's likely coming from, and Mezzi will not be sleeping. He's awake. Wide awake. Eyes wide. Arms ready.
Put this Gentlemate side to rest. Able to bring home a massive multi-kill out of Flames. That is so massive. Very challenging position to play off from. Constant chaos thrown his way. The mollies, the utility that blinds him up. Managing to fight through there for a multi-kill is everything, because that round started scary. Zywoo almost fell on his perch.
I like, again, this timeout. This is similar to what we saw in Nuke, right? Immediately after they lose a round, you recognize that this is the moment where things will be easiest. This is the moment of maximum vulnerability still for this Vitality side. They win the round. They've got some bank. If you let them build the confidence, everything gets that much more difficult. So, good timeout. Good idea coming through from the coach of Gentlemates, Delange. I like the use of those. Let's see if it's effective here. Because here is your best chance to secure the 2-0, Gentlemates. To at least keep things going your way.
They're out T-Con already. They're putting a lot of pressure on this A side. Meanwhile, Vitality are collapsing on B, and the question becomes, are they going to be able to do that in time? Mezzi caught with utility up, but still fighting forward, still staying alive, and finds the multi. He's so alone, but still thriving.
What a coup. What a coup from Mezzi. The entire gameplay there was to pressure him. And Mezzi stands up to it. So now he's made things that much easier for the rest of his team. Yes, there are players in the back lines. Yes, Apex is dead, but you still have the man advantage, and you still have Flamesy with presence here up top. He's got a dangerous game to play, but that's exactly the fight that he was looking for, and now it all falls to Mopaz, who at least has time on his side. A minute to try and work with this. Now T-Con, he's going to go. Looking to isolate a fight. Vitality do need to spread back out to deal with the possibility of B, but for the moment they're sticking as a nucleus and working together. That might afford the bomb plant.
How far does he want to take it here? The Ops watching this pressure, and oh, he wins the head-to-head. He goes down to 9 health for his troubles, but he's going to have a comfortable bomb plant. Still unknown as to where these two players are. He's got to take a risk.
So money made, bomb planted, keeping the pressure up. But this is going to take some masterclass work here from Mopaz, creeping around. Where is that magic? He's exposed.
Oh my god.
Taking that risk, though, they may not think he's gotten around. I think Zaiwu spotted him. Yeah. Careful, calm, cool as you like from Zaiwu, not pulling the trigger too early. So this round for Vitality keeps this comeback going.
Not going to allow Mopaz to drop another 1v3 on him here. That's a key detail as well. Already pulled through the clutch to close out Nuke. Denied this opportunity here. It's Gentlemates who target the right side of the map as well. And that just comes down to the difference that Mezzi provides this team in terms of his multi-kill ability on the CT side. That is such a specialty of his. And when you leave the resources a little bit limited towards that A side, you have to have players that you can trust to deal with the pressure if the play comes fast. And he fought through T-Con and Ivy alone and saves his team the trouble. Now we've got a scrappy half-by. Oh my god. Wow. Look at that damage.
Oh boy.
Another HE Apex. A little airstrike. That gives you a lot of information as to where these players are. And so much damage. Kill's now going to be converted by Flames. Sticking around there. The Molly forces Saucel into a fight. And Flames going to continue to collect here. The collapse coming through from the rest of Vitality. This is exactly what they needed to get the momentum in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a pistol round. If you're Gentlemates, you're saying it's just a pistol round. But it never feels good to have a round where you don't even get to see anybody. You don't get to shoot at anybody. You're just being naded. You're being mollied. They're swinging when your back is turned. There's just nothing doing there. And that'll put a smile on the face of Apex. Playing Battleship here. Finding their destroyer. Doing exactly that.
And shoot, if he can consistently find a way to throw in that damage, if they're not feeling enough pressure out of T-Con, you get a good information as to where your opponents are by tossing in those HEs.
A little bit of turnabout fair play. Rops suffers for this one. Flashbang on the peaks. I was forced to back away. They know the Ops here now. What can they do with that information? At least for the moment, they're going to give him his due. But it might encourage them to bring the pressure towards the inside. Seems like A is the intention.
Yeah, it's starting to get their space towards T-Con. That smoke can allow for a little bit of lurking antics. At least threaten that idea. And as a reaction, it does actually queue up Vitality for a bit of space creation towards Ivy. Mezzi at the helm of this, the op looking over his shoulder right now. How much can he claim before this execute pops off? Because he's going to continue to pull through on this flank right now. Davi G.
Ankle.
And the danger.
Ankle.
Gonna catch them before their execute can even lift off. Two players with utility out. He's gonna take it down in a complete collapse. Bomb on the floor here. Mezzi might have just done it for his squad.
Mezzi Masterclass making the moves, and the first player who could have even retrieved that is now denied. Alex and Saucel have to face the music. And it is not playing to their beat. They can't do anything about this. Cannot even get to that C4 in time to really make a go of this round. Just total devastation. Perfect timing out from Mezzi. He's starting to put together a really commanding resume from this Ivy position, right? We saw it early where the adjustment in that first timeout was to try and just pinch Mezzi. Kill Mezzi, and it all falls apart. Well, that's easier said than done. In this round, it's him making the money move.
Oh, he survived.
He survived. He survived. I mean, that's going to be all that they have to play around here, but at least survives. Doesn't go down after time. Gives them something to work with in this round.
Yeah, I mean,
a Mezzi masterclass right now.
Yeah, that's what he's bringing right now. So much faith in this player, now starting to make his moves actively instead of holding in the back lines. And Vitality, who have this hot hand, are continuing to give him opportunities, continuing to feed Mezzi in the openings that he's been able to create for his team. Complete disruption in that last round. Vitality will not allow Gentlemates to get the game plan off.
Got the hero rifle, and it is in the hands of the man we've been calling the big impact gamer. When they need those critical moments, he's the one who put Nuke away. So also has been able to deliver. This one would be tremendous if he could. Tip of the spear here, AK in hand. Trying to pierce on in towards that B site. Motion up on Thomas is drops, and the tank engine will run him right over the tracks. They're in the way, and they're getting mowed down. And now the Gentlemates, they don't even need the rifles for this. The Tech 9s have been enough, but now Sauso brings that big gun to bear, and it falls to ZywOo. One man against the world, overwhelmed, dinked up, dropped down, the bomb ticking away, and Alex with just a Glock will put him to rest. And this was the moment for Vitality to pull abreast of their opponents, to tie things up. Instead, their hopes shatter. And the Gentlemates another chance to seal this in a 2-0, to pull towards that map point here, Cole.
Oh, man. You can see what it does to this camp. A little bit of inspiration inspired back into this squad. And it's at the hands of the Tech 9s that do it first, but then the closing chapter there, Sauso again providing those late round moments. The security and the space here towards that B side. And he's going to have to do even more. Another early target. Got to get utility down here to get around this corner, and that's just to get past the Oppo ZywOo, not to even mention Flames and the forward positioning. But Sauso down early. It's a huge room to breathe. Gonna queue up the execute, so much here ready to go in resistance. Flash is not connecting onto Apex, but the multi won't come of it just yet. They're left stalled out. ZywOo's still in position, ready to go with the AWP at range, spotted out. Looking to be avoided, bombarded out of this round, staying alive and getting out of dodge. Meanwhile, they're finally making it through here. Rob's still fighting, but a chance for Martinez and Davichi to make this work.
Davichi with some altitude. Ooh, he spotted. Can't go for that play. Would have been a huge opportunity under the fight on FlameZ, but Mezzi with Overwatch. With calm eyes on. Now Davichi overlooks FlameZ, looking for that fight. So the push-pull between the two leads to a firm defense. It all falls to Martinez. Hearing these footsteps. Audio cues rattling him, but Mezzi with the wide swing, still checked. FlameZ able to follow up. Vitality are not letting these opportunities slip just yet. A little wobble, a little blunder, but right back into winning ways.
See, Gentlemates want to lean in on the power of the execution right there and trying to take that ground. When they're dealing with the passive setups, are able to catch them by surprise. But this time, ZywOo fighting forward, dealing with ZywOo, finding that first prong of approach there and shutting down Gentlemate's game plan. That's the sort of activity that Vitality need to lean on for the remainder of this half. See if they can continue to replicate that opening success with the scope of ZywOo. Always backup, always vision around it as well. Flames and ZywOo in that last one were the ones that were joining forces here. The way they got away with that B approach there is by catching them in a very passive setup and just scaling so quickly before Vitality were able to plant their feet. The question is, for the remainder of this half, are they ever going to let that happen again? See Rops up on the top ropes there, ready to go. Apex in charge of covering the ramp side. We're slowly scaling out here. Is Rops going to get caught off guard? I mean, Apex is in the danger zone right now, fully exposed. Rops now needing to recover with a massive multi. He gets traded out, and that's the side opened. Again, more impact out of Salsal on the opening. Duels at Martinez with the rifle work. Continues to threaten damage. Spotting out Mezzi, burning in the flames here, down to 30 HP. ZywOo and Mezzi needing to be the hero to avoid going up against Series Point. And a big-time shot from ZywOo, just charging full force.
It's time for him. We haven't felt his impact that massively in this map, but he is the chosen one. It's his moment to step forward, but it's Mezzi again to find a critical kill. It falls to DaVinci. Can keep them off this bomb. First hurdle overcome, back down to just the Woo, and time is so precious. So ZywOo forces the issue, but it's DaVinci, the chosen man today.
Just more impact coming through out of these players here. So much X Factor, so many clutches cost Vitality in these late rounds here. And Martinez looking sharp as could be. DaVinci making all the right moves versus ZywOo, baiting him into the fight, baiting him into this uncomfortable position. Ice cold.
Praise from the teammates, all you. The magic moment, the spotlight claimed, and now we see its worst case scenario for Vitality. They've got to pick up the dregs of their economy to try and mount a defense here, despite so many strong moments in this second half, despite so many opportunities that they've been given. Complete picture, the overtake has eluded them, and now they're finding that the race car might just be out of fuel, flipped on the track. And the Gentlemates ready to cross the finish line. A stunning upset. You thought Hotu was going to be the biggest surprise today? How about a 2-0 over a team that put together the most perfect season Counter-Strike has ever seen? Rops is not ready to let this map go to rest.
It's also the heavy hitter taken down early. Rops out of dodge already. A huge lifeline here, a sigh of relief, knowing that they don't have to deal with the impact man on Gentlemates right now. There's much, much more around the corner here. Ready to threaten some aggression here, Flames. Getting caught, exposed, and how active do you want to go if you're Gentlemates? You're feeling the pressure, the resistance that's being offered up. So they throw in a little bit of utility, threatening the fight. They don't go all in. Instead, it's going to be a crawl-up Ivy and testing Mezzi for another round here. We'll see if that's the right call. He has been holding it together. He's been the glue for this CT side.
The glue finds a little bit more damage as well onto Alex, but he can't hold strong forever. Now he needs his teammates to step up. They've got the numbers, but they don't have the weapons. ZywOo brings the big gun to bear. They put faith in him, and he is delivered, at least for the moment. Alex tagged up, but he doesn't expect Apex to be further around that corner. No, Apex tagged from the opposite direction, but it's not enough. It's not enough. We're going the distance. Vitality, a chance to bring this into overtime. They survived the biggest test, the broken by, the pistols out. And now they just need one more.
It's a little run boost that gave Rops the extra speed needed. He gets past the utility that was game planned to deal with that exact move. And he's able to beat him to the punch there for that opening duel. From that point forward, Gentlemates don't have the resources to close it out. Not enough to trade things forward here. It's now the table's being turned. Gentlemates on a scrappy buy, trying to save this series from going into overtime, and from Vitality looking to extend play. There's another one of those massive damage dealing HEs that Apex was able to throw on the full eco. Not as much damage, but still positioning being established. And it's another B-side target. It's another bit of unity that we have to see from Rops and Apex to lock down this bomb site up against the Execute.
Rops overlooked, 2 kills on Tech9s, find headshots from the heavens. The pistols might be enough. The Gentlemates, 3 more kills, and they have done it. They have dethroned the kings of Counter-Strike. They have knocked the crown yet further from their head. ZywOo, though, wants to hold. Martinez tight to the smoke. He could be the difference. He could be the end of this round. They gave him the big gun. They put faith in their hot hand. Though for this moment, it's been Salso. Now he's overlooked. Flamesy back turn, but can't spin in time. The flashbangs are good. It has to be Zaiwu once more. 2 Tech 9s to overcome wounded players, but he has no idea that Salso remains. And so the Gentlemates have done it in stunning fashion. A 2-0 to rip this map from Vitality's hands to upend the world of Counter-Strike. The lowest seed